Good evening. Thanks for joining us on KLBK. I'm John Hansen.
I'm Terry Furman. Dameon Marmolejo will spend the next 15 years in federal prison.
His fate was set when a judge sentenced him this afternoon after he pleaded guilty to beating his then-girlfriend, Solidad Torres, for downloading Snapchat.
Our Courtney Frum was at the courthouse this afternoon during the sentencing. Courtney, what was the reaction coming out of court?
Good evening, John and Terry. Now, the whole day started with a prayer in the courthouse by Torres' family and ended with a prayer after they heard the verdict that the man Torres says almost killed her was going to jail for several years.
It's no longer out that they don't have to be afraid even right now.
A prayer of gratitude, Torres says, after finding out Marmolejo was going to jail for 15 years, a year for each stitch she received in her head after she says Marmolejo beat her, kicked her, and nearly killed her.
We're glad we're here and we survived everything to tell our story.
The judge says Marmolejo didn't receive the max sentencing of 20 years because of his age and because he showed some responsibility for what happened.
It wasn't the max, but it was fair. We got justice.
Torres, alongside witnesses Josie Morales, who was also once in a relationship with Marmolejo, says they wish he would have gotten the max sentence because they weren't the only two victims.
There was multiple girls, not just me and her. I didn't want to look at them, but when we made eye contact, it was just that motivation, like I said in my speech. Just, I know what he did, and he knows what he did to both of us, and so that's what he deserves.
Judge McClendon saying this is one of the worst cases of domestic violence he's ever seen.
To have the judge say that and notice that we were treated like animals and not as a human being, it made me feel great because he noticed.
It was good for someone else to see it in our perspective.
The judge says it wasn't a matter of downloading the app Snapchat, but that Marmolejo wanted the power. But with him behind bars, both girls are free of that now.
It's okay to speak out and that something can be done, not just, oh, I'm going to speak out and endanger myself more. And that's not the case because most of the time they'll get what they deserve.
And no one deserves to go through what we went through. And to all the girls out there, if they're hurting you, that's not love. So don't let them take control of you because you are strong and you can get out of it.
Now, both girls say they are working now to help other women stuck in abusive, both physically and mentally, relationships. John and Terry.
All right, thanks so much.